So you cannot sit there and tell me that there is a more marketable fight out there for both these guys than running it back once again. Your plan to have him drop down to 160 and fight Erislandy Lara is stupid. Canelo ALvarez is not going to move up to fight David Benavidez now at 175. There's nowhere to go. Like, Crawford could still try to conquer 160, but who is putting up real money for that? Canelo has already cleaned out the 168-pound division. Besides Terence Crawford, where else is he going to go? I just think the more time passes, the more we get away from the outcome of this fight, that's when people are going to start to realize that doing it one more time is in the best interest of both these guys. And for boxing, by the way, because that's another big event that you could put on the calendar.
You're pretty stupid for a smart guy, especially when it comes to matchmaking.
DAZN reporters beg for Canelo. Baby, you want baby, ain't no that. To get a rematch versus Terence Crawford. Terrible idea. Terrible, I tell you. In this video, I'm going to break it down and give you guys my opinion. Why a Crawford versus Canelo fight really doesn't make any sense to me, and why I disagree with this take. You should enjoy this video. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Shout out to one of my followers, Johnny, who sent me a DM of this particular clip. The clip had DAZN boxing reporters, and they're going back and forth talking about a rematch between Canelo and Crawford. And basically, one of them suggesting that a Canelo Crawford rematch is the only option. This is kind of where the guys should go. I totally disagree with that. You know, boxing is chopped. You know, boxing is cooked and in a very tight spot when you have people that have worked with Crawford for his fights, that have worked with Canelo for his fights, to have watched the Netflix show and watch what Bud Crawford did. Masterful, masterclass, brilliant performance that he just displayed, and tell their audience they want to see a rematch. I don't agree to that. I don't subscribe to that. It sounds like a horrible idea, and I will begin to tell you why. For starters, rematches used to be a thing where maybe if it was a shocking upset and, you know, the fighter felt he can do better because he got knocked out. Think Lennox Lewis versus Hasim Rahman. Okay, Lennox Lewis got to Africa late. He was filming Ocean's 11. Maybe he wasn't all the way locked in, but he was a champion and he got knocked out by Hasim Rahman. And given his history of fighting the best, I think he was owed the opportunity there because it's not like he got beat up. It was a good fight and got knocked out, right? So that can happen. So yeah, give him grace and allow him to avenge it. Plus, they might have had a rematch clause in the contract, right? Makes perfect sense. Shocking upset. That's one scenario. Another scenario for a rematch is controversy. Jermell Charlo, think Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano. First fight ended in a draw. We didn't get a proper conclusion, and Charlo got to keep his belts. Some people thought he won. Some people thought he lost to Castano. You run that back. Another example, think Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev. I thought Andre Ward won. The judges had it close. I think it was a close fight. Right man won, but he got dropped. Kovalev had a good effort. Kovalev had belts. So you give him another crack at it, which is what they did, and they ran the immediate rematch. These scenarios that I've outlined and presented to you all make sense and illustrate when a rematch should happen. Now in 2025, we live in a culture where people like DAZN reporters are asking and begging for a rematch when no one, including most of the fans, like even Canelo fans, right, are not pushing for a rematch. But then you're telling your audience that this is the only fight that makes sense. I can't believe that. I can't subscribe to that. And I don't. I don't want to see a rematch. Bud has already proven himself and proven he is a better fighter than Canelo ALvarez. And this is what I don't like. This is one of the reasons why I did not want this fight, because they put up all this hype and then they'll say, oh, it's for the title of the best fighter of this generation, right? We had it. We watched it. There was no controversy. The right man won. And now people are moving the goalposts, even though Crawford established himself as the heir to the throne and this generation's best. That's what they tagged it as. Now they're saying run it back. For what? That's one reason. Two, Canelo accepted the loss far too easily for me. Like Canelo, when he fought Bivol, he tried to argue with it, right? Same thing, like they try to jerk Bud on the scorecards and rob him, but he won the last 2 rounds. So you really couldn't rob him without it looking suspect and perhaps starting a riot. But when Canelo fought Bivol, they had the scorecards close, even though the fight wasn't really close. And Canelo protested. He was like, I really beat Bivol. I think I beat him by 5 rounds or something like that, right? Or he said he only won 5 rounds, whatever he said. I remember Canelo, you can look it up. He said he thought he beat Bivol, right? But versus Crawford, he knew Crawford had his number and didn't even complain. He was like, I tried my best. You know, I did my name is Jeff. Yeah, I tried my best. You know, that's all he said. Post-fight, and then he even gave him the praise, which I think is a divide and conquer tactic. That's just me personally, of he's way better than Floyd Mayweather. So Canelo's already accepted the defeat and he took it on the chin and he didn't even resist. It's like when somebody gets stopped and they don't even argue with the ref. It's like, that's a rightful stoppage because they're not even complaining. It's like, you saved me, thank you. You know what I mean? So Bud already did his thing, and I don't see a value in a rematch. Rematches need to happen when a rematch needs to happen because of one of the reasons I outlined earlier in this video, not just because this or that. And the last thing is Bud Crawford, he can only get better. That was his first fight at the weight class. For me, it sounds dumb to even suggest a rematch because the only intrigue for this fight, I told you before the fight, Bud is a sharper, more cunning, even though he's older, he's a more preserved fighter than Canelo ALvarez. So on calendar years, he's older, but in boxing years, he's younger. If you know, you know, right? Canelo been through wars. He got a great resume. He's older, even though he's younger. If you know, you know, right? So in boxing years, he got more mileage on him. I've told you all these things. I also said that Bud Crawford is a more skilled and dynamic fighter. And the only interesting point or thing here is if he could take the power because he was moving up all this weight. Can he take Canelo's punch and size because Canelo's going to try to bomb on him? We already watched the fight. We've seen 12 rounds of it. Either he didn't get hit with the right shots or he took the power well when he did. So why do we need to see a rematch? The only question that people had was, can he withstand Canelo's vicious body attack and stuff? He ate all them shots, even the chopping Golovkin shots that Canelo stole from Golovkin, and he ate it and dished out even more punishment on Canelo. So a rematch, Canelo probably gets stopped. That's just, if you know your boxing, then you know that. If you watch that fight, because Bud can only go up. Now he'll be more comfortable at the weight. Now he already knows psychologically he could beat Canelo, and he might be more comfortable or get a faster start knowing what he knows now and knowing that Canelo got slow feet, cement feet. Canelo is done, you know, at top level. Hate to say it, but that's probably what it is. And Bud came close to stopping Canelo in this fight. What do you think he would do in a rematch? Not interested. I don't think it will sell. Let me know what you think in the comment section.